For years, organized bands of hunters have scoured the horizon, systematically pulling dragons from the sky until the clouds became silent. What were once apex predators are now reduced to commodities, their wings and scales traded in mud-caked camps. A disgraced former captain lives at the edge of this industry. Now a blacksmith, he spends his days hammering out the heavy iron spikes and reinforced chains that make these hunts possible, working for the very men who stripped him of his rank. His compliance is bought through extortion. The hunters hold his sister in a constant state of captivity, demanding a mounting ransom of gold that his meager wages can never quite reach. In this cycle of debt and iron, human freedom and dragon lives are processed through the same forge. Every link in the chain is forged in greed, fueled by a market that treats sentient life as raw material. This local trade is suddenly paralyzed by a royal decree. The king orders a total lockdown of the capital, sealing the gates and sending armored squads to search every house, stall, and cellar. The crown has placed a bounty of 1,000 gold coins on a specific target, a woman with ice blue eyes and 2 ivory horns. The reward doubles if she is delivered to the palace alive. The city erupts into a feverish search. To the hunters and citizens, the target is a mythical abomination, a rare prize that promises enough wealth to retire forever. The scale of the king's response reveals a hidden desperation. Halting the commerce of an entire capital for a single survivor indicates that the woman possesses a value that outweighs the gold in the royal treasury. When the blacksmith finds the wounded, horned woman in the forest, he chooses the risk of the forge over the promise of the bounty. He hides her among his tools, shielding her from the soldiers patrolling the streets. To bridge the gap of trust, she initiates a magical pact. She binds her history to his, with glowing golden runes sinking into his skin, to create a permanent physical link between their minds. The pact pulls the blacksmith into her memories. He witnesses the final days of the White Dragons, a massacre carried out by royal archers using magic-dampening chains to ground the creatures before slaughtering them. She was kept as a living specimen, held in a cage at the center of the slaughter. She watched her family perish, preserved only because the king viewed her as a unique biological asset. The memory clarifies the king's true objective. His military campaign was a harvest. He sought to secure a total monopoly on the white dragon population to fuel his own private ambitions. In the dark halls of the palace, the king's physicians use needles to drain the dragon's silver blood. It moves like liquid mercury, glowing with a faint, unnatural light as it fills glass vials for the king's consumption. The king drinks this fluid to seize the dragon's attributes for himself. He seeks to bypass the limits of human aging, chasing a dream of immortality and the physical power of an apex predator. This diagram illustrates the biological toll of the king's habit. The silver blood does not integrate with human biology, it invades it. As the fluid enters the vascular system, it forces cellular structures to mutate into jagged forms. These mutations eventually erupt through the skin, creating tumor-like scales that replace the human epidermis. Despite his yellowing eyes and the gray, reptilian texture of his skin, the king continues his extractions. The rush of supernatural power suppresses the horror of his own physical decay. He is caught in a state of terminal transformation. His quest for eternal life has turned his body into a failing vessel, held together only by the constant intake of the very substance that is destroying his humanity. The White Dragon uses this desperation against the hunters. She offers herself up as a trade for the blacksmith's sister, luring 20 men into a mountain pass where they expect an easy capture. As the hunters move in, she triggers the pack's true purpose. Shattering the moonlit silence, the survivors of her species descend from the peaks, a multicolored pack of dragons returning to claim their own. Within minutes, the hunting party is decimated. The ground-shaking force of the dragons leaves no survivors, turning the hunters' own traps and magic chains against them. The power dynamic has shifted. The prey has organized into a military force, and for the first time in years, the human hunters find themselves at the bottom of the food chain. The king realizes that his individual strength cannot withstand an organized pack. His personal immortality offers no protection against a coordinated aerial assault. He pivots from personal preservation to a strategy of mass biological engineering. To combat the dragons, he intends to create a rival pack from his own loyal soldiers. In a final act of desperation, he assembles 50 soldiers in his grand hall. He distributes his remaining vials of silver blood, commanding them to drink in unison. The soldiers immediately collapse, as their bodies undergo the same agonizing mutation as the king. Their armor bursts as chaotic scales and reptilian features emerge, creating a twisted, artificial army designed for a singular purpose. The king's pursuit of power has transformed the realm into a factory for monsters. By forcing his men to consume the blood, he has locked both species into a war where the lines between man and beast have been erased by his own design.